centre. We are in Glasgow city. 5 weeks in 5 cities, 5 weeks in 6 cities actually, because Edinburgh was thrown into the mix last minute. Stumbled across an amazing charity called Kindness, who basically had tables and set up on Argyle Street, and absolutely incredible. Honestly, I fell in love with them instantly. The way they were, their attitude about their passion, they were just amazing. They reminded me a lot of the Steps to Hope family. It's got that kind of feel to it. So the guys they were handing out, they had McDonald's, rolls for taking away. So I had a cheeseburger and I had a delicious macaroni. They were handing out clothes, trainers, all that kind of stuff. Right, guys? So I'm really grateful to Kindness for showing me kindness and allowing me to come and eat at their service.
On a personal, yes. Why do you want to come and give your time to something like this?
I love seeing the guys. I love seeing them. I love seeing them when they need help. I love helping them. They love coming to see us as well. If I don't see somebody from 1 week to the next, I worry about them, worry where they are. Can't catch up with them. I seriously worry, sleepless nights of how they are. If something's bad's happened to them, see them a week later, they're happy as Larry, we get to feed them, and it makes my absolute night. I just love it. The guys come and see us and they're absolutely rock bottom. We help them make sure they're fed, give them a chat, have conversations and whatever else, and they leave with something to eat, full bellies, and much happier than what they did when they first came.
For a bit of it's been tough day. Last night probably the worst sleep I've had. Do you know, I'm only getting 3 hours. I'm only getting 3 hours in total, but it's all broken up. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And I'm probably sleeping for about 3 hours in total, I did not stop shivering the whole night. I was in my sleeping bag, I couldn't stop shivering, and I was lying on my side, and because I'm on concrete, like I'm on a wee like thin mat, but it's really thin. That's more just to stop the cold from the pavement. I was lying on my side and I was really sore because I was lying on one side. But see, if I moved my leg or my arm even half an inch, I could feel the cold shooting right through me and I couldn't stop shivering. It was horrendous. I just lay there like on one side, uncomfortable, sore and shivering. It was, my God, what a night. And waking up in the morning and kind of preparing yourself to unzip that sleeping bag. Okay, and I've no got socks, I've no got shoes on because I've obviously took them off for going in the bag. Unzipping that bag and trying to unzipping the sleeping bag and try to get all your socks and shoes on, your fleece on, your jacket on, and try and get a bit of heat in you. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. You've got to roll up your mat, roll up your sleeping mat, take everything out your bag to get the sleeping bag in. It's an effort just to get out your bed, I suppose. Feeling a bit unsafe, but at the same time, I've met some amazing people who have been very kind and generous. But the truth be told, I said yesterday, I really wanted to give up. 4 days, I was 4 days in and I'm thinking about throwing the towel in. But in recovery, they say a day at a time and all that. A day at a time, and I've kind of got through that and just going to see what tonight brings, what tomorrow brings. This is me arriving at my home now. my home for tonight. Let you see it. Here we go. Here's my home for the night. So today, when I was out begging, there was a female that turned up and, you know, very unsteady on her feet, like kinda all over the place, shouting the odds, you know, drawing a lot of attention. Everyone was sitting staring at her. She was obviously heavily been using, and she wasn't in a great way. She wasn't in a good place. She ended up sitting down, and then eventually she just fell right over. She was lying down, no moving. I was kind of just keeping an eye, trying to see if she was going to get back up. Everyone was walking past, no one batted an eyelid. A guy on a bike cycled past and shouted junkie. You know, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I wanted to chase him down and absolutely leather him. I was fuming. I mean, it's disgusting the way people see addicts. Do you know, it's just so unhelpful, so what a derogatory. What if that lassie could be dead and someone's shouting junkie and everyone's walking past? Honestly, my focus, of course, was on her. That was kind of my after thinking. So I ran over to see if the girl was okay. She did not respond. I kind of shook her on the shoulders, asked if she was okay. She didn't respond. I tried to listen for breath, and I couldn't hear anything. So I mentioned naloxone purposely, to see if that was going to kind of wake her up, and it did. It's something when I went through my naloxone training that I was told to do. If you're not sure if they've overdosed, do you know, maybe if they're just if they're gouching from whatever they've been taking, mention naloxone, and if they're hearing you, that'll certainly bring them, wake them up. And that's what happened. She opened her eyes straight away. She rested her head on my knee, just kind of reassured her. I gave her water. I had a bottle of water. I gave her water. She got up and kind of started going down the road again. And I'm under the illusion that this is happening all over the UK, guys. It's certainly happening all over Scotland, because that's why our drug deaths are higher than anywhere else in Europe, continuing to rise every year. And society throws it that it's a choice. That it's a choice, and that they're junkies and they choose to be like that. And I see pain. I see pain in people's eyes every single day. I see people telling me stories on how they've engaged in this service and how they've engaged in that service, and they've tried this service to try and stop. If it's a choice, why would someone be turning up to all these meetings and appointments and engaging with GPs and counsellors and therapists and rehabs and all that kind of stuff if it's a choice? Do you think they're choosing to go there for weeks and months on end, and then what I'll do is I'll just go there and come out and then I'll just use again? No, addiction is an illness. It's an illness. It centres in the mind. The obsession to use it in the fucking first place. Sorry for my language. I want people to understand that there's a difference between a fleeting thought and an obsession. When you're obsessed, you're compelled. It's overridden every other thought in your mind. It's all you can think about. Even when you didn't want to use, you use. That was my experience. I used to drink and use when I didn't want to drink and use. I knew if I used tonight, there's going to be serious consequence. I'd promised my family, my partner. I'm never ever going to do it again. I was sincere because that's what I wanted, yet I knew what consequences were coming if I was to pick up, yet I picked up and put my relationships in jeopardy, put my security in jeopardy, my financial status in jeopardy, and all that just gets cast aside because of this total, overwhelming desire, obsession to put substance into my body. And if you've got what I've got, once I start, I can't stop. So I tell myself this lie that it's going to be 1 or 2. I'm only going to have a couple of drinks, or I'm only going to have a couple of gram, or a couple of pills, or whatever it is. And as soon as I put that into my body, it's like a reaction that I have, and I crave more and more and more, and I can't stop. And by the way, if any addicts listening to this and they've got what I've got, they'll definitely be identifying. I always used more than what I set out to use, or what I said I was going to use, because I do not have the choice. I have lost the power of choice. And the public, do you know, look at addicts as if it's like an inconvenience, like we get too much support or too much time, and do you know, they just go out and do it anyway. It's their choice. A girl lying in the Glasgow town centre today, potential overdose, and someone wants to call her a junkie rather than go and see if this human being is still alive. Come on, man. Come on. It shouldn't take me to be sat in the streets living homeless to be there and try and show a bit of compassion and try and make sure she's all right. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolute. We need to talk about this more. We need to talk about this. And do you know, other addicts coming forward who've got lived experience, who are now clean and sober, who are in recovery, can support other addicts, absolutely. But see, the non-addict people who didn't even care about addiction, at least didn't be so ignorant to think that this is a choice, and maybe just consider that this is an illness. That this is an illness, guys. Anyway, kind of feel like I'm having a rant, and I'm sorry. It's really upsetting, eh? It really is upsetting. It's frustrating. It made me angry the day. You know, I'm about to lay out my sleeping bag and I'm having a rant, you know, about Joe Blogs who doesn't give a fuck about people who are suffering. Sorry, man. Sorry. Right, I'm going to go and pray and meditate in my wee alley and try and get a bit more spiritual. Love yous. I've had the worst sleep ever. This has been the worst sleep that I've had so far. Oh my God. Had someone wake me up. I just dozed off to, and they woke me up and asked if I wanted any kit, which is heroin. It's going to be a long day. Huge thanks to Ray, who came through from Edinburgh and dropped off naloxone to me. So I've now got my naloxone kit. Hopefully I don't have to use it, but I've got it. Let me see if I've got it handy there. 2 seconds. Got my naloxone kit there, guys. So just for anyone that doesn't know, this is a medicine that reverses the opioid overdose. So if someone's overdosing on opiates, you administer naloxone. It's very effective. It is a lifesaver. If you've never heard about naloxone, please go and research it. Go and do a course on how to administer it and carry one about with you. Honestly, guys, this is a lifesaver. I believe if this is administered 10 times, it'll work 9 times. It'll save 9 people out of 10. It's that effective. It's incredible. And I carry it about everywhere with me in Edinburgh. I think just obviously with the anxiety and the busy head coming out for 5 weeks on the streets, I've not packed it, but I've got it now, and I'll be sure to keep that beside me at all times. Really nervous tomorrow. I'm going to London. That's the one I've been really nervous about, so let's just get it done. Do you know, I want to thank Glasgow for looking after me. I've met some amazing people over the last 5 days here. I've had incredible support. So I just want to quickly rewind back 2 days ago. I was really down, really down. My mood was down, and I think I was talking about that in a video that I'm sitting looking up at people. I'm watching 1,000 people pass by and no one's talking to you. You're kind of stuck in your own thoughts. And I was saying to someone earlier, like, you're starting to take in like your proper surroundings. Do you know, there's maybe people coming down the street, they're arguing. Do you know, there was a lassie coming down the street just crying her eyes out walking down the street. There's it was just quite difficult to watch, as you're just sitting there taking it all in, and it really affected my mood. So that's been twice since I've been in Glasgow that I felt right flat. But as of tomorrow, that'll be 7 nights complete, and on a whole, I feel okay. I feel all right. I mean, it's been horrendous. I've witnessed some horrible things. I've experienced, being freezing and lonely, a bit depression kicking in and all that. Your mental health, of course, it does take a wee knock. But on a whole, after 7 nights on the street, I'm quite happy with where I'm at right now within myself. Right, I'm going to get off and go and sit down and get my sleeping bag out and complete night 7 on this 5-week 6-city sleep rough. So good night everyone, thanks for listening. Cheers.